lot of my clients have mentioned that they find it difficult to do certain exercises because they have knee pain. So I'm going to give you some exercises to do that will help strengthen the structures around the knee to help support it, to alleviate some of the pain. Now this is just for generalized knee pain. Don't write to me saying that you've ruptured your ACL, your MCL, and you've torn your meniscus and you want to know how to fix it. Go see your doctor. This is generalized knee pain. Start getting the structures around your knees stronger so that you can do more exercises and improve. Now, generally, another thing is we have to also be honest with ourselves. If you're carrying some extra weight, that's going to put a lot of pressure on your knees. The exercises are going to help strengthen the muscles in your legs and your hips, and that will help, but you have to get the extra weight off. If you need help getting the extra weight off, then reach out to me and we can discuss some appropriate steps for you to do so. So now, when you have knee pain, a lot of times it can come from tight structures in the hips. If you sit a lot, it can come from a weak core. So let's start out by stretching. This is called a single knee to chest stretch. It's just one knee pulling into your chest, and then you're going to switch into the other leg. So we're just taking one knee at a time into the chest. We're going to do 10 on each side, so a total of 20 as we just actively move through these stretches. If you would like this to be more of a core exercise and strengthen your core, then what you're going to do is pull your core in really tight, like you want to hug your spine with your abdominals. Tuck your chin, tuck your shoulders. So I'm lifting from here. Don't keep your head out here. You've got to lift and look at your navel. Continue to stretch through your legs, making this also a core and abdominal exercise. After 20, we're going to straighten the leg. Your straight might be here. That's okay. From there, you're going to stretch the leg. And again, we're going to do 10 on each leg for a total of 20. If you're a little more flexible, get a little more stretch in there. If you're really just not that flexible and you find this challenging, go back down to step one, put your head down, bend one leg. You can either use your hand or you can put a strap on your foot. Give yourself a little bit of a stretch, release, 10 times. Just actively stretching through. Once you've stretched out the structures and warmed up a little bit, we want to see if you can straighten your leg. You can either stay in a lying down position if that's comfortable for you, or you can come up onto your forearms. Now I'm not just relaxing and chilling out here. My shoulders are pulled back, my chest is open, my chin is tucked, and we're going to do a straight leg raise. You have to straighten your knee. This muscle has to be tight, squeezing tight in order to straighten the knee so that you can do a straight leg raise. So you can just lift and lower the leg in control. 15 on each leg, 15 times on each leg. And I don't think you quite see because my pants are black and my other leg's in the way. So if I show you here, my leg is completely straight. Not a straight leg raise. Knee is not straight. If you cannot straighten your knee, if that is the challenge and if that is where your weakness is, then you go back to learning how to straighten the leg. And what you'll do is flex the foot. This is pointed, this is flexed. Flex your foot, that'll help. Push your knee down into the floor and squeeze your thigh. Feel like you're squeezing and lifting up your kneecap. You're going to count to 15 seconds and then you're going to release. And then again, you're going to squeeze and you're going to count to 15 seconds and you're going to release. If you can do that 10 times, then you can start working your way up to the straight leg raise. And again, 15 on each leg. Once you've completed 15 straight leg raises on each leg, you will lie back down and we are going to do bridges. With bridges, you want to make sure your feet are in line with your hips, your knees are in line with your hips. So it's going to go hips, knees, ankles, all in the same line. My knees are not out to the side. My knees are not falling into each other. They're all in the same line as my hips here. I'm going to press into my feet, abs are tight, press into my feet and push the hips all the way up. You'll notice a straight line from my rib cage, sternum, abdominals, pelvis, hips, all the way nice and straight out. And then you come all the way down and you press all the way up, squeezing from the glutes. So this exercise is coming from my glute muscles. We want to strengthen the glutes to strengthen the knees. These become very weak if you sit a lot. And we'll come all the way down. A lot of times people do this and they think this is a bridge. This is not a bridge. We need straight hips. Just like we need straight knees in the straight leg raise, we need straight hips. So we're going to come down and up. And you're going to work yourself into doing 15 of those. If you find this challenging and a little bit weakness and your knees are going all over the place because they're a little bit weak, you can grab a pillow or a yoga block if you have it. Fold up that pillow, put it between your knees, squeeze the pillow, and see if that helps. Also, maybe if you have a little bit of knee pain while you're doing the bridge, it could be because your knees aren't lined up properly, and squeezing into the pillow will help line up your knees. It also helps activate another muscle called your adductors, which will help stabilize the hips as well and stabilize the knees through this exercise. Okay, so you've worked your way up to doing 15 of those, and that's really easy, and now you're strong in the bridges. What you're going to do next, if you can do 15 of those, is you would do a single leg bridge. So we lift one leg up into tabletop position, and you would do 10 times on one leg. If you want to make it more challenging, you can press your heel up into the ceiling, and again, all the way down, all the way up. So we'll do 10 on this side, and then you'll go ahead and do 10 on this side. I'm not really counting. This video is more so to explain and help explain what you can do. So just make sure you count through your reps. I'm not very good at very good rep counter, so beware. Next, okay, so we've done our bridges. Now we're going to work on our side glute strength. Again, continuing to strengthen our glutes. My spine is aligned. I'm not just hanging out here having a margarita. I am abs in, spine is nice and long, hips are stacked, and my ankles are in line with my hips. I'm going to keep my feet together, and I'm just going to lift my top knee and back down and lift and lower. And these are called clams because it looks like a clamshell. Now, the mistake a lot of people will do is they'll move their hips back. That's a back exercise. You don't want to do that. You want to keep your abs in really tight. It'll help stabilize your pelvis. And I like to put my hand right here because then I know that my abs are in really tight and then I don't just let them fall out, but that I, again, hug your spine with your abdominals. That's what you should feel like you're doing. Everything is a core exercise. So we're going to go 15 times. And then after 15, you're going to straighten the leg. And we're going to do that straight leg raise out to the side 15 times. Again, knee has to be straight. I don't want toes turned up. I don't want the knee kind of bent and doing this or moving forward. The leg has to be in a complete straight line to the pelvis because we're using the glutes. You should feel this in your glute. If you feel it in your hip or your quad, it's probably because you're turning out or you're moving your leg forward. You want it to be in a line, toes turned down, using your glutes. And again, we're going to do that 15 times. Then, holding the leg up here, point the toe. Give me 15 circles. See how stable my pelvis is? I'm not rocking the pelvis everywhere. I'm just trying to get 15 circles into that hip. And then you're going to reverse and do 15 circles the other way. Again, I'm not really counting, just trying to help explain to you. So when you do this exercise, you count 15 on each side. So you've got the 4 exercises: plant, straight leg raise, hip circles forward, and hip circles back. Remembering to keep that pelvis stacked on top, not rolled back. If you find that to be easy, you're going to take one of these bands and you'll place it around the knees for a little extra resistance. Now, when you first use a band, you may not be able to do 15 reps. You may only be able to do 8 or 10. That's fine. Use your band and work your way back up to 15 reps. Just like any other strength exercise. You start where you are today and you build yourself up. So I would use the band. It goes above the knee, not below the knee. And I would do however many I can here, up to about 15. Then I would straighten out both my legs so I can do that straight leg lift. And again, you're going to really get a burn quick with the band on. Then you can still hold and still do your circle in one direction, and then you can reverse and do your circle in the other direction. And once you've hit all your numbers on that side, just flip over, do the other side. God gave us 2 sides, you got to work both sides. So, the next exercise that I think a lot of people maybe don't think to do, or this is what they try to omit because their knees hurt, is the squat. So you want to be able to do a squat. And we're just going to stand with our feet about hips distance apart. And go ahead and squatting right down and right back up. And again, we're going to start with 15 body weight squats. If you notice from the side, I sit my hips back. My feet are planted into the floor and I'm sitting my hips back and I'm trying to keep my torso upright. Now, if this depth hurts your knees, then only go through a pain-free range of motion. Okay, and you want to really think about using your glutes. Push back into your bum and then bring your bum up and forward. Push back into your bum, bring your bum up and forward. Use your glutes. The problem is people squat like this and they go into their quads and into their knees and then they go, my knees hurt, I don't squat. Well, no, your squat is bad. That's why your knees hurt. Also, when you squat, make sure your knees aren't coming in. I see this a lot of times, either here or it looks good until they go to stand and then it goes like this. Push those knees out. Knees are going to drive right out into this nice, beautiful angle here. Remember, us lifters, we like angles. We like nice lines and angles. We don't like to look at wobbly joints. So again, about 15 body weight squats there. As you progress, now if the squat is easy for you, you can progress into what we call a split squat. You stand with your feet split apart, and then you just go straight down into that squat-like position and right back up. Now, where people tend to mess up the split squat is foot placement. They put one foot directly behind the other, and then they say, I can't balance, I can't do this exercise. Widen your feet. One foot is in front of this hip, this foot is right behind this hip. I now have a wide base of support. I'm going to drop my pelvis straight down and bring my pelvis straight up. I am not rocking forward. I'm going to take my pelvis straight down and straight up. Straight down, straight up. So from the side, it's going to look like this. My feet are nice and wide. I first have my balance. If you need to hold on to something, you can. No shame in that game. Drop your pelvis straight down, bring it straight up. Drop your pelvis straight down, bring it straight up. Again, do not rock yourself forward. You'll feel it in your ankles and in your knees and in your quads. You want to think about coming straight down. Look at this beautiful 90-degree angle. Another 90-degree angle. It's 90-degree angles. Remember, us lifters, we like to look at beautiful lines and angles. 90 degrees we like a lot. There you go. Straight down and straight up. Again, work yourself up to 15 on one side. Then you can go 15 on the other side. This is a little bit more of an advanced move if you have knee pain. So if you find that move challenging, it's okay. Stick with the squat and the bridges until you get stronger and you're ready to do split squats. Only do as many as you can in a pain-free range of motion. So again, your split squat may not look like this. You may start out looking like this. And that's okay if that's where you are today. Then you try again the next time. And maybe you get down a little bit lower. Maybe you do one more rep. That's all it is. Do what you can today. Do a little bit more next time. There's another exercise that I don't think people think about when it comes to knee pain. And that is the plank. The plank, I feel, is one of the best all-encompassing full body exercises. We're going to work that upper body strength and postural muscles. We're going to work the core strength. We're going to work the glutes. We're going to work the quads, everything. So in your plank, you'll come down to your forearms, into a forearm position. You're going to pull the shoulders back. So I'm not just hanging out here like this. I lift the chest, pulling the shoulders back. My lats are active. I tuck my toes up underneath me and then lift the hips. Lift the hips, pulling the abs in. If I don't pull my abs in, it'll look like this. We call that Beyonce booty. Pull your abs in and tuck your tush. Now my tush is squeezed. Squeeze your tush and squeeze your quadriceps. Try to straighten your knees. This becomes a really great, safe way to put pressure on the knees to strengthen them. You're applying pressure to strengthen them. Again, as long as it doesn't exasperate your symptom. It should be challenging, but not painful. And you want to squeeze those thigh muscles really tight and straight. Press through your heels. Press into the floor. Drive your abs in really deep. And see if you can do that for 30 seconds. If you can do that for 30 seconds, we're going to go into a side plank. Roll this up. My bony little elbow. Level 1 side plank. I'm going to bend my bottom knee to 90 degrees. I'm going to make sure my hips are in line with my knees. I'm not back here like this, like I'm going to go to sleep. Everything is in a straight line. From my shoulders to my hips, my knees and my ankles. My elbow is directly below my shoulder. One of the major mistakes people make in a plank is they have their elbow way out here, and then it puts too much pressure on the shoulder, and they think they can't do planks. Bring your elbow directly below the shoulder. Pull your armpit down. So again, don't be sunken into your shoulder. Your muscles aren't on. Pull your armpit down, and now your muscles are really strong. Squeeze your glutes, pull your abs in, and lift. Okay? This is level 1 plank. If you can hold this for 30 seconds, then level 2 plank is lift the leg, hold for 30 seconds. If you can hold this for 30 seconds and you want more of a challenge, lower and lift your hips 10 times. If you can hold this plank for 30 seconds, followed by 10 lower and liftings of the hip, then you are ready to stack both your legs and come all the way up into a full plank. Thighs are squeezed. I'm squeezing my legs together. I'm squeezing my quadriceps. I'm squeezing my glutes. I'm squeezing my abs. This is a full body exercise. If this is easy and you want more of a challenge, lift the top leg. And again, you can do lower and lifts in this position if you want more of a challenge. So again, doing the planks is a full body strengthening exercise. So a good way to work on the core, the hips, the legs. Your body is one structure that needs to work together. We don't just look at how do we fix the knee and strengthen the knee so that your knee works. We look at why is the knee not working? How do we get the knee to work in symbiosis with the rest of the body? Now, of course, once you've done your side planks on one side, you'll flip over, you'll do your side planks on the other side. Work your way up to 15 reps of each exercise. Do them for 3 rounds. Again, we want to really strengthen these muscles. 3 rounds, 15 reps. Then you want to work yourself up to doing a 4th round. 4 rounds, 15 reps. Then you can start to make it a little bit more challenging and complex. If you can do all of those things and you want to then move on into a more progressive program, please feel free to reach out to me at Terra the Trainer NYC@gmail.com, and I hope this helps.